Quick, smash a like and subscribe in the next 10 seconds if you guys have ever played Fortnite Battle Royale, and don't forget to leave your cringe intro suggestion in the comments down below and it may get added into the next video. Thank you everyone. Guys, it's Postboxpat. Welcome back to a brand new Fortnite Battle Royale video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the secret patch notes which have been appearing everywhere in Fortnite Battle Royale. Now obviously these aren't actually physically in the game, in a sense you can see them in the game, but going deep into the files I found a bunch of these patch notes from a bunch of leakers, so this is really awesome. I can't wait to show you guys everything that we have secretly being added into Fortnite in the most recent update, and almost daily, every single day they'll apply a little small hotfix. You know, maybe on PlayStation you've been getting a little bit of an update. I know a few of you guys who are members on the channel got that the other day. If you guys aren't already members on the channel, remember you guys can join as a member if you want to play with me on Thursdays and Sundays in-game in Fortnite Battle Royale. Check it out guys, the join button is on my channel page or in the description down below. Don't forget, if you aren't already subscribed, consider sticking around, and also go and use code Postboxpat in the item shop and let me know in the comment section down below that you're using code Postboxpat. Let me know your in-game name and you'll have a chance of getting gifted a skin from me as well. So much love and respect there for everyone supporting me with that side of stuff. Okay, so welcome to the patch notes. Now this is something pretty interesting. I did not expect this. As a community we know that the patch notes have been taken off the Epic Games news section, so you can no longer see the exact patch notes. Now a little hype thing we've got going as well, we also have the new hot dog skin, so if you guys are purchasing him, remember to go and enter in code Postboxpat for that, and tweet me at Postboxpat for a shout out in future videos. Thank you everyone supporting me there. Let me know if you're buying that. I'll be sure to reply to a few of you guys on Twitter as well. Okay, so the patch notes. So they're not there. Fortnite don't post it anymore. So what have we got? Well, thanks to a bunch of leakers who will be created down below, we have a lot of different patch notes going on for you guys, which is really exciting. So to start with, I've got this chart and we'll break it down in sections, which goes over each weapon and each little change that's currently in game. And we also have a lot of little Easter eggs that aren't in game that have been added to the files as well, which are potential patch notes. So we'll get into that. Okay, so first off, we've got the ARs. So these three standard ARs have all had changes. The first one, the common one, has had a reload increase of 8% from 2.3 seconds to 2.5. Then we've seen the reload increase of the uncommon one at 8% as well, with a 2.2 to a 2.4. Pretty good, not the best, but I guess it doesn't improve the weapon, but it makes it more balanced overall because it makes the better rarity, I guess, a little bit better. We've also got reload time increased by 4% as well on the rare version of this weapon. You can see the seconds there. And the final version, which is the Scar, this one has had an increase on its reload time of 5% from 2.1 to 2.2. So basically making all the ARs increased reload time, but making them more balanced overall, leaving the legendary one having the best reload time at its standard rate. So nice to see, exciting stuff, but kind of annoying that it has been increased a little bit. You can see what it's been increased by there. Moving on to the next section, we have the shotguns. So the first three standard pump shotguns have all had nerfs. Now these nerfs include reload time again, so let's get into this and explain what their reload time exactly was. So you can see here the uncommon version had a 12% increase, then the common version 12%, the uncommon 9%, and the rare 4%, meaning that the rarer the shotgun, the better it is for reload speed, and obviously damage as well also increases in rarity. Then we also have the legendary shotgun right there, which has had a decrease in reload by 5%, which could make it a much more useful shotgun over the pump because obviously the reload has been decreased. Moving on to these SMGs now, we have 4 SMGs currently in the game. You can see them on screen right here. Obviously I guess there's a 5th one as well. The rare one isn't in this here because it hasn't had any changes, but you can see that the standard 2 SMGs has had a decrease in the reload speed, which is really nice to see on them guns right there. Obviously the decrease in the reload speed is really going to help you out with them two there. And then the actual P90 version has actually had an increase in its reload speed from 10% on the epic and 15% on the legendary. So some sad news right there for everyone who is a fan of them, and obviously they're the better variant, but obviously we'll talk a bit more about damage in a minute. We've also had a reload time decreased by 22% on the uncommon sniper rifle, which is nice. However, it has increased by 4% on the legendary sniper. I know these 0.1 of a seconds aren't much, but in some situations this can kind of mean either your gun is reloaded or your gun is not reloaded. So that short amount of time could potentially affect the position of you being eliminated or getting the elimination in a game of Fortnite Battle Royale. So before we get into some of the information about the leak files, let's talk a little bit further about the damage increases on some of the current weapons that are no longer in the game. So this is quite an interesting one. I can't remember where I saw it, but I read somewhere that the P90 had been buffed slightly with damage, but I'm not too sure if that's the case or not. But the weapons that have been changed are quite interesting. Now, considering that Fortnite may have done something to change this, we'll have to see why this is the case. This could introduce the theory that the scoped AR is returning to Fortnite Battle Royale, but the scoped AR has had an increase of damage across the entire range. Credit to Hypex for this one, but you can see right here the damage has been increased across all of the scoped ARs. Really nice to see, and they've also added in a legendary and a epic variant of them scoped ARs. Now obviously it may not be the exact same texture when you get the weapon finally in the game. It could be an entire new texture for the weapon, and it could like just what we've got with the bolts, and I think it will be, but I do think we will see the scoped AR get reintroduced to Fortnite in the next upcoming week or so. So very exciting stuff right there. So I think that's what's going on with the rarities with that. We also have a small hotfix on the SMG side of stuff. We've actually had the reload speeds all been changed, obviously we know that, but something very interesting is a unreleased SMG has had a nerf to it. This is known as the machine pistol. Now originally in Fortnite we did have an original SMG in the first season 1 and 2 of Fortnite. I don't know if it lasted much in season 2, I can't remember when it got taken out of the game, but I remember it. You still can get it in Save the World. Now this one is more rumoured to be more of an Uzi style pistol, that's what people are saying it could be, but it now has had a damage reduction to structures. So the damage has been changed from for the uncommon it's 20 to 15, for the common it's 21 to 16, and for the rare is 22 for 17. This is very interesting, and also the fire rate and spread have been changed slightly as well to 14 and 0.25. There we are. So nice information right there, everyone. Wondering about an upcoming weapon which could change the entire Fortnite Battle Royale. Very excited for that one. There's also information on this weapon having different range damage, which is across all the weapons, but the base stats which I read out before are the sort of stats that we'll see, and then obviously the further the range, the more damage reduction, which could be pretty interesting to see with a 32 clip size. I definitely think this could be game changing for Fortnite Battle Royale in the upcoming weeks or so. We'll just have to wait and see, guys. I'm super hyped for it. I can't wait to see if we get the scoped AR returning. We may even get 2 weapons at once, which would be really awesome. I remember the day that the scoped AR was introduced. It was back in season 1. It was early stage. It was actually the same day that Zapatron got added in as well, and also the tacked SMG. Zapatron got removed very quickly out of the game. I don't even know if it was in the console version, because I remember playing it the day it came out and I did not find the Zapatron. So interesting stuff right there. But I used to love the scoped AR. I used to love the old scope actually. I'm not too much of a fan of the new one, but I still want the scoped AR to return at some point. We also had a few other nerfs on some vaulted weapons. I didn't really expect these ones to get a nerf, but they did, and I'm not too sure why Fortnite are kind of nerfing weapons that aren't in the game, but this goes across a few different things. It's also a few buffs on some as well. So for example, the zombie crossbow has been buffed from 40 damage to 50. Not too sure why, because obviously Fortnite has just been removed from the game. The dual pistol building damage has been reduced slightly, but the legendary version still does a good amount of damage, with the lowest version doing 42. Used to do 42, now it's doing 41, and then a change from 44 to 43 for the epic, and legendary sticking at 50 there on building damage from the dual pistols. Then we also have the tactical assault rifle, which was a classic weapon. Please bring it back, epic. I love that one, which has had a damage change on buildings with a decrease, so it would be changing all by roughly about 2 or so, 2 or 3 depending on the rarity. You can see there on screen with them stats. But that's everything coming from all of the changed logs, all of the information that we've had so far from the last updates of really exciting stuff. Now the next thing I've got for you guys is some upcoming items which we don't exactly know of just yet in Fortnite Battle Royale, but these are leaks from Hypex. So I'm very excited for these, so get ready guys. So here are a bunch of different things that he's tweeted out, obviously from another source as well, so kind of source to source here, but we've got a lot of stuff going on. So gadgets which have been leaked are Doodle, Heart and Scooter. What could they be, guys? Doodle, I don't know. That one to me seems like I couldn't put anything on it, really. Unless you can draw like a bridge, or you can draw maybe something, or maybe design something, or maybe it's something to do with kind of like a port fort type thing. We've also got heart, which may give you full health, a little bit like the one from Nintendo, or may even buff your health a little bit. So you drink the heart and it gives you 125 HP, which could be interesting. We could also get a scooter, which may be a 2 or 1 transport vehicle, a bit like the skateboard, but a scooter, which would be nice to see. Traps wise, we've got a cage trap rumoured and surprise party. Surprise party might come in around the birthday time of Fortnite Battle Royale, and then obviously the traps cage as well. We know what a cage could be if that gets introduced. We've also got consumables being the tornado grenade, clone machine, chug stand, and pool floaty. Now, just going off some basic information on these, tornado grenade would clearly suck people into the middle, a little bit like the tornado on Clash Royale if you've played that. Clone machine, which would maybe pull out a hologram of you, and also chug stand could be a little bit like you throw it down and it starts splashing chug everywhere, just a little bit similar to the actual chug pools that we have over at the Slurp factory, that you go in and you end up gaining slurp, I guess you call them slurp chug, whatever you want to call them. You gain shield from them. I guess that's what the chug stand would be like for maybe 30 seconds or so. Basically the campfire for shield. Then we've also got pool floaty, which could just be a float that you can use in the water to maybe move a little bit faster, or even stop yourself from doing the jumping thing. It makes you go a little bit faster. I guess that's maybe what it is. But that's everything for today's video. Hope you guys have enjoyed all the secret patch notes. If you are new around here, consider smashing that subscribe button, hitting that notification bell, and entering in code Postboxpat to the item shop. Seriously guys, if you're not already subscribed, let's try and get to 450,000 subscribers. Much love and respect to everyone. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I produce legit Fortnite content every single day. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And once again, this is Postboxpat, signing out.